Hello and welcome guys. In last session we have discussed about web development and different things that we have to learn as a part of web development. In this session we are going to talk about differences between web designing and web development. If you are starting your own company, then you have to run web designing, web development and digital marketing, mobile app development, all those things together. You cannot rely only on digital marketing or social media management, or you cannot rely only on web development. If you want to grow your company and your agency, then you have to provide different kinds of services which is required by industry. Web designing, web development, mobile app development, and digital marketing. If you are starting all those streams together, you can get a lot of profit and you can grow your company to the next level. And therefore, it is very important to understand what is exact difference between web designing and web development. In this session, we are going to discuss these differences by considering 5 different points. And if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Click on notification icon so that you can get updates of my new videos. So without wasting too much of time, let's dive into the differences between web designing and web development. So take a lot of notes and watch this video till the end. Hello guys, in last session we have discussed about web development and different concepts related to web development, and in this session we are going to talk about differences between web designing and web development. So please watch this video till the end, take a lot of notes, and let us begin with our actual topic, differences between web designing and web development. To understand these differences in better way, I am going to use 5 different key points on which these web designing and web development parts are differ. Actually, web designing starts before web development, and after web designing, we have to really implement this design by using web development concepts. So let us discuss which are those 5 key points on which we are going to discuss differentiations between web designing and web development. The point number 1, we are going to talk about focus of web designing or a purpose of web designing, or you can say the concept, and then we will discuss concept of web development. So how web designing concept is different from web development, or you can say what is the actual focus of web designing and what is actual focus of web development. The second point we are going to discuss about is different tools. Which are the tools in which one should master to become a good web developer, or which tools one should master to become good web designer. So different tools for web designing and tools for web development that we have to learn. Third point is which are the skills in which one should master. So there are different skills required for web designing and different skills set is required for web development. And this is very important. You can learn tools and tactics, but skills, it takes a lot of time to learn those skills, to master those skills. So on the basis of skills also, web designing and web development is totally different. Next point we are going to talk about is task to be performed as a web designer and task to be performed as a web developer. We need to perform different kinds of tasks in web designing and in web development. And finally, we are going to talk about the outcome of designing and development. What will be the end point of web designing? What you will get after designing, or in other words, you can say what you can get done from web designer, and what will be the final product of web developer. So there are 2 different concepts. Web designer, it's a different role. Web developer, it's a different role. Its focus is different, purpose is different, tools used, they are different, skills required to learn, they are different. The final outcome is also different, and tasks, no doubt, they are different. So let us discuss one by one. Number 1 is a focus or a purpose, or we can say the concept. So if you see the web designing, the main focus is on user experience and user interface. What user is going to see on your web page, okay, and how you can make it attractive and you can make it appealing to user. So web designers creates layout of your web page, not only one web page but your entire site, They will think about visual aesthetics, what exactly you want to show on your web page. And then they are also thinking about what kind of experience you want to create for your users. If you want to engage your viewer, then you have to make some interesting things, and you must know what kind of users are going to watch your web page, and to how to make them easy, how to make it attractive. All those things we have to think. And here design includes everything. Not only layout, but colors, themes, fonts, images, characters, everything that you want to display in a visuals, that is has to be considered by web designing. So the main focus of web designer is to create a good user experience with visuals, and provide a proper interface so that you can have engagement with your users. And now, what about web development? Now, web developer, its main focus is on making things functional. Okay. So the focus of web developer is building functional websites, the websites that perform something. So web developer is going to implement the website design in actual happening, and the web developer has to ensure that whatever functions that has to be delivered, that has to be performed by the web application, it has to be there. Web developers focus is on performing things, making your design actual on your web page. So converting the designing part in coding and give the same feel to the user along with actions. Web designer is just responsible for creating a layout and the design. He will just suggest the design, but that design has to be implemented by web developer by using different tools and programming or coding. And not only designing part, but the functional part, what will happen when user clicks on a particular button. So that code has to be also given by web developer. So web developer's responsibility is starting after getting the design layout. Now, if you think about what are the tools that we have to use for designing a web page, or to develop a web page. Now, if you think about web designing, lot of designing related tools are available. The most widely used is right now Canva. Now, Canva is useful for creating your web or thumbnails, anything that you want to create in the form of images and layouts. You can use Canva. Traditionally, a lot of people they are using Photoshop. By using a Photoshop, you can create entire web page layout, and by using proper skills of web Photoshop, you can create small images of the entire page, and those images can be used in the form of tables. Now a lot of AI tools are available that converts your image in the form of HTML. So, and here you don't need to code anything, everything will happen automatically. So Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Sketch, Figma, Canva, these are different tools available for designer, and they can create a designing elements and entire web layout by using these tools. Now as far as web development is concerned, now this design has to be implemented in the form of coding, and for that purpose HTML, CSS, JavaScript, now these are used to convert your web designing actual layout part, design part in web page. And apart from this, when you are going for coding something, for coding, simple coding, client side coding, one can use JavaScript. But to give database related programming, or when you want to save the data and you need to perform some more action, then we can use PHP, Python, ASP.NET, Java, JSP, like different programming languages. Those has to be learned by developer. Apart from this, some frameworks are also useful where developer can use these frameworks to develop the web pages, like React, Angular, Django, or some concepts of Bootstrap, WordPress. These frameworks are also used by web developer. So tools, designing tools and development tools, they are different. The next part is what are the skills that one has to learn. So web designer has to learn a lot of designing related skills. Now here one has to understand the principles of designing. Color theory, what can be color for a particular product. Now it depends upon your audience, it depends upon the product you are going to pitch, it depends upon the category of product. So all those things has to be learned, how your colors are going to create a psychological impact on customer. And very important, the mindset of a viewer is one should understand it properly. So psychology of viewers is very important for a designer. Typography, which kinds of words you are going to use, which kinds of font you are going to use, what should be the style and color of your text, and user centric design. You have to find out what kind of users you are going to have from the market, and according to your users you have to design your elements properly. Now, these are the skills, and one has to work on those concepts. A lot of things are involved when you are designing a logo. So what should be the purpose of logo and all those things we have to learn. I have prepared a separate video on logo designing. If you haven't watched it, the link will appear somewhere here, and you can watch that video where I have explained what are the different concepts used in logo designing, and you can learn those concepts while designing a logo. So when you are designing your layout, you have to also think about vision and mission of your company or organization, or what should be the expectations from your products. So a lot of things are involved before starting actual designing. So the designing starts from here. You have to think properly how you are going to pitch your product, how you are going to create brand awareness in market, which are viewers or which are your target audience, what is their mentality, what they are looking for, and what are the things where you can attract such kind of people. And all those things you have to consider while deciding the fonts, colors, themes, backgrounds, images, characters. And then by considering all those elements, you have to create a mind blowing effect in your designing. And this is a very important skill that one has to learn. As far as a development part is concerned, the knowledge of coding is very important. What kind of code you have to use, or what kind of programming language you have to use to make this thing happen. Backend part, how to design and develop, create a database, and how to store the data, how to get the data back. You have to also have a knowledge of different web servers, what kinds of server side scripting and client side scripting. So these are different skills, principles that one has to learn. So learning codings, programming languages, learning backend and front end connectivity, all those things, thinking about security of your data, and using different kinds of servers and programming languages. These are the different skills. Now learning programming language is one skill, but using it in a proper way, in efficient way, so that the web page will not take too much time to respond, and whatever coding you are doing, it should be authenticate, and it should satisfy the actual function which is expected. So that is another skill that has to be learned by a developer. Now coming to the task to be performed by designer. Now designer is responsible for creating actual layout, prototype of your web page or application, mockups, wireframes. Overall look and feel of website has to be done by designer, and designer also has to ensure the consistency in all entire designing. So when you are navigating from one page to another page to third page, the entire the navigation and all different pages and elements those you are going to connect, they have to consistent in a proper design. So a lot of themes are also available. If you're using that theme and you're choosing that theme properly, same thing will be replicated automatically in all pages. And because of lot of new tools and techniques like WordPress are available, designing is somewhat easy than the previous one. And there are some ready-made templates available. One can also use those templates, so that there will be less number of jobs has to be done by a designer. As far as the task to be performed by developer are concerned, developer is mainly responsible to write code for everything. Whatever expected to be performed on a web page, it has to be coded by a developer. So developer is has to ensure the coding, the functional part, data integrity, data connectivity, security of data, overall functioning of website has to be taken care by developer. Final thing that we are going to discuss is outcome. So how, what is the outcome of web designer? A good, visually appealing, user friendly website design is the final product of web designer. It must provide a pleasant experience to user. And what is the final outcome of a developer? A fully functional and a responsive website. Functional means every part of the website should function properly, which is as per expectation, and it must be responsive. That means it has to be used on different screen sizes. The website which opens on desktop application, on tab, on mobile, everywhere, the design and the functionality of the website should remain intact. It should work everywhere. It must meet the designing specification given by a designer, and it should work reliably and effectively without disturbing the design, and it should work on all standard browsers. Now these are this is the outcome of a good developer. I think we have covered almost all points where designing is different from development. Now if you have got any value from this information, please hit a like button, share with your friends. And apart from these points, if you feel that there is any other extra point which differs designing from development, then don't hesitate to put your comment in a comment box. I will be happy to see your comments. And if you are really got any value, if you got the exact difference between web development and web designer, what will be your first choice? Whether you are going to become a web designer, then put the comment box, I want to become a web designer. And if you are interested in web development, then you can also put, I want to become a web developer. So you can give comments. So I hope this is very useful video, and now you are clear with the designing and development concept of website. Because a lot of times students ask me, what is the role of web designer and what is the role of web development? If you go for a small company where 2 3 employees are working for web development, there is no such differentiation between web designer and developer. Same person is working as a designer, same person is working as a developer. But see, the mentality of designer is a different, and mentality of developer is a different. Now sometimes design and development part is carried out by the same person, but it requires different skills, different mindset, and different outcomes are expected from designer and developer. And if you want to learn these things in detail, then you can join my community where I'm going to teach web designing, the psychology of web designer, the psychology of creating designing different logos, web development, different tools and programming that you have to learn as a developer. And I'm also giving you the clear cut roadmap for setting up your agency as a web development and digital marketing agency. Digital marketing is totally different part apart from these two. If you're doing all those things together, then you can be successful. And I'm giving clear cut roadmap to learn different skills at different stages and implementing them, and within a 90 days you can start to earn your money. So if you're not a part of my community yet, please click on the link below and join my community where I'm going to teach all those things. I'm taking a live calls, one-to-one calls, and giving clear cut idea and notes, videos, everything, so that you can set up your own digital marketing agency. And along with digital marketing, you can also earn profit from web designing, logo designing, web development, and mobile app development. So thank you very much for watching this video once again. I will be happy to see you all in my community. Thank you.